people. I had an experience riding my bike up in the mountains, and I needed some money, and I was going to work for a guy. I didn't know him. Usually when I go somewhere, I know the people, And this time I just, I was winging it, and I thought, well, I need to work a little bit here. And so the guy said, hey, you're a carpenter. Come on up to my property and put you to work for a couple weeks. And this happens to me. So I said, sure, so I go up. I kind of felt it out at first, seemed like an all right guy. And there were other people up there working. As a matter of fact, they were at the store when I met the guy. And they were just getting supplies to head back up on the mountain where they were building a big timber home from British Columbia. Anyway, so we get up there, Now I'm on my bike. He says, just throw your bike in the truck, we're heading up. So we head up there, and he says, you can camp here. I have camp spots for everybody. And there was about 6 different couples or people, individuals, working up there, and they had camp spots, and I met a few of them. And there's like a communal kitchen area outside. And, I just feel kind of weird, I'm like, I'm used to that kind of stuff. I've worked on farms in Humboldt County, trimming and things like that. And there's always a little weirdness to it, But this one just felt all around weird. So anyway, I just hung out, worked my butt off for a couple days. There's some people camping next to me. It's a couple, married couple. I think they were married. And a real nice guy. I worked with him every day, and she just stayed back at her camp. And she would hang around camp and never come around us. And so, oh well, some people just aren't people like me, people in small doses. So, no big deal. I did meet her one day, and I was talking to her as I was walking over to the job. And, she was nice enough. But it was weird, like she had a little bit of dried blood around her nose right here and just didn't look well, She was really nice. And so, maybe she's having a rough time or something, or maybe she fell down. And you might know where I'm going here, but not quite. And so I work with the guy and work with this bunch of people, and he's really nice to me. Now, he saw me talking to his wife, which is fine. He didn't think it, but he got real nice after that, And I thought, well, that's cool. He's just whatever. Group dynamics, right? So one night I'm in my tent over at my camp, and I hear some arguing going on, and I'm like, oh, they're having an argument over there. And then when it calmed down, but it got pretty ugly, and I can't go into detail on that. So then next day, wake up, go to work, see the guy, and the guy's like, hey buddy, how's it going? Now he knew I must have heard, right? Because I'm right there. And anyway, so it was an uncomfortable dynamic there between me and him, and I was just cool to him, and he was overly friendly to me. And then so one day I needed to go down to town. And actually, I had no cell phone service up there, so I needed to get down where I could make calls and catch up and stuff with people and get some supplies. So I was like, hey, I'm going to ride my bike down to town. It's kind of far, but I didn't want to ask anyone and for a ride. And that guy just jumped right up and goes, hey, I'll take you. And I'm like, that's okay. No problem. I can do it myself. And he goes, no, I need to go down anyway. And so I had to accept, because I'm not going to ride my bike when he's going to town. And so I hopped in the truck with him and rode down to town. And, I'm trying to use my phone down there and do things alone. And this guy's like, wants to be everywhere I go with him. So I don't know if he just thought I was going to say something about what happened or... So that was uncomfortable. So we were rolling back up the hill, and get to the property and work another day, and it was uncomfortable. And then I'm like, and the argument kept going on, and it was ugly. There was something bad going on with them. And I said, hey man, I'm going to take off, a couple days later. I waited. I actually didn't want to say, hey, I'm leaving right away. Not because I needed the money, because I was kind of worried that guy might, get worried. So I waited, let things settle down a couple days on our end, and then I packed it up, said thank you, got paid, and then I was packing up my tent that day and getting ready to go, and that guy walks up and he goes, hey man, it's good to meet you, dude. And he said, where you heading? Asked me where I'm heading and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I said, for now, I told him, I said, I might even come back up. I'm just going to go out and take a little ride around and then go down, catch up on stuff at the library online. And he goes, oh, okay, well, come on back up, man. We really love having you up here. And I was like, okay. So I took off down the road, and then down at the bottom, like where you get on the main road, that guy's coming right behind me, and waved and like took off like he was going to town. I was like, oh shit! And I got to ride alone for the rest of the day. I made it to my next destination and made some phone calls to actually report what was going on up there. Had to do it. I was wondering about making this video because that guy might still be out there. But I did make some phone calls and found out that he's probably not. And so I made the video. I don't know what happened to him. Hey, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. You know, when you're out like I am and people invite you to places and they know you're alone, you really got to watch yourself. So awareness is once again the tip here for Tectonic Traveler. And we'll talk to you in the next video.